Hey guys, Eve Actually here because it's a really important topic that I want to discuss today, and this is as close as I can get to looking y'all in the eyes when I talk about it. So, in my last video, Reality Bites, I discussed the possibility that globalists use shows like Real World on MTV in order to pave the way towards acceptance of CCTV recording absolutely every aspect of our life. And I know some of y'all probably thought, well, Eve's tweeting again. But here's the thing. It's really important to understand globalists are playing the long game. They're very, very patient, and they've been at this a very long time. They recognize that in order to sort of fulfill their agenda, they're going to have to get a whole globe, a planet full of people, okay with some pretty outstanding changes, sweeping social changes. And it's going to be a lot easier to get a planet on board this plan if they can somehow get us to want these changes, to sort of opt into them. So it's not quite as tweety a thought as you might think, especially when you consider things like Operation Mockingbird, something that isn't a conspiracy. We know damn good and well the CIA used the media to influence public thought on a variety of subjects. So, bear with me and let's take another look. Let's look, for example, at supermarket loyalty cards. Now, many of us remember when those first came out in the 90s. They were a great idea. Suddenly, you'd go into the grocery store and give them your card, and they'd show you all of the money that you saved and circle it. And on the back, you get coupons that, wow, suddenly these coupons you're getting, they're for the very things you're going to buy anyway. Seems like a great idea, right? Okay, let's remember the 7 rules to decoding globalese. And I'm going to put the links to these videos in the description to this one in case some of y'all want to go back and look at those again or check them out for the first time. Here's rule number 2. They might want you to think that these programs are just to benefit you. They don't have anything to gain from this. They're just offering this service to you. But rule number 1, this is always all about them. Always. So it's really important when you start to look at these things, that suddenly these trends that seem to come out of nowhere and sweep the planet, it's really important that we start looking and thinking about what could be the real motivation behind this. How is it that suddenly, out of nowhere, everybody's doing it? That's usually when the bells and whistles start going off in my head and I start trying to dig a little deeper. So, by 2005, other people were like seeing red flags over this. Authors like Martin Bosworth, they started sounding the alarms. He starts out this article by echoing what pretty much everybody thinks. Hey, you know what? I'll give up a little bit of privacy. Who cares if they know what brand of toilet paper I buy? It's not a big deal. I'm getting a lot in return for it, so it's worth it. It's worth a little bit of my privacy for cheap stuff. Okay, well now let's remember rule number 6. They always include something in their proposition, in their proposals, that's almost impossible to argue with. And they do it for exactly reasons like this. Okay? They proposed convenience, free stuff, discounted stuff on products you already buy. That's really, really hard to argue with. But then Bosworth points out the absurd amount of personal information that you have agreed to give up to these corporations and allow them to use it in pretty much any way that they really want to do it. Bosworth points out that these supermarkets share this information, and more disturbing is who they share it with. Safeway, it turns out, provided one customer's personal information to law enforcement. And Bosworth points out that this is skirting the constitutional and federal laws that prohibit government and police agencies from collecting personal information and creating databases. Really think about that, guys. They're circumventing the law and finding a way around how to collect personal information on American citizens. Okay. Now let's flash forward, say, 15 years to the present. Yes. Hello. Hey, Alexa. We've actually literally invited rats into our homes. Rats that are always listening no matter who's talking. And rats that make very credible witnesses. We have smart cars. We have smart lights. We even have smart beds. So in case, anyone wants to know, we can always see when we went to sleep, how deeply asleep we were, whether or not we were sleeping alone or with someone else, what time we get up, just in case that ever becomes relevant. And all of that, that's before 5G. Please, guys, we really need to start thinking about why they really want us all to buy into this shit. Because by the time we figure out what their real intentions are with that incredible, unfathomable amount of information that is gathered on all of us every single day, until we, by the time we know what their end game is with all of that, it's going to be too late. And it's not like they give us a lot of options, I remember back when CDs first came out. I love records, but hey, CDs were cool, they were new. And then one day I went into the record store and there was no more records. So you could almost say I was forced to buy a CD player and rebuy all my music on CDs just in time for music to go digital. See the game? This is the same game. And really, one of the only ways we can fight it is to call it out for what it is. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. So, I love you all. Been fun. Till next time. And you know what? Please, like, subscribe, because I would love it if these guys had to pay me to make this. Peace.